Politics: why do humans build houses and other structures on waterways? Or why are people in the habit of throwing refuse on drainages and expect nature not to naturally fight back? Thomas Ogbetere in this special report seeks answers to these questions as he examines causes, effects and possible ways of mitigating floods in Nigeria.
Globally, flooding is among the very many disasters that cause widespread destruction to human lives, property, and the environment. In Nigeria, the case is not different, as over 500 persons have lost their lives, with thousands displaced, and properties worth millions of naira destroyed this year as a result of flooding that has affected most parts of the country. John Morgan, whose village was also affected in Edo State, says in her community, over 20 persons who died as a result of the floods cannot even be buried for now, as there is no land to do so until the flood is over.
As at today, 20 persons have been reportedly dead. And the worst situation is there is no grave to bury them because the whole community is flooded with water. As a result of this, they are now being transported to Auchi Mortuary, Fuga Mortuary, and Jetu Mortuary.
Can I assure you that we are going to have a very rough 2023? Not just because of elections, but because we are going to have absolute food crisis. These floods not only washed away houses and killed people, but washed away massive farmlands, massive crops. What the boat operator said was that these people are rushing also to sell some of the unripe. Those fruits they harvested were not ready, but because water was washing them away, they had to harvest anything they can harvest and push all of them into the boats.
Well, presently we have 36 states affected, and we have about 2 million persons affected, and then we have over 900,000 people displaced. We have about 500 deaths, and we have 2,300 injured.
So we give them relief in terms of food. We give them non-food items in terms of toiletries, in terms of clothing, in terms of buckets that they will need for that period. Most of the times we give them stove and pots, plates to cook the food.
Experts are of the opinion that although flooding has its natural causes like heavy rainfall, the effect of global warming, and other natural phenomena, many causes of flooding are said to be human-induced.
Kainji Dam and all the dams we have are increasing. Water level is increasing in rivers as a result of rain. It's also increasing in Cameroon. So their dam, Lagdo Dam, also getting to a point of breaking. And breaking will devastate Cameroon, Nigeria. So instead of wait until breaking point, Lagdo Dam, or dams generally, they release water gradually so that it doesn't get to breaking point. And Nigeria was advised at that time, create buffer dams. Nigeria was to create buffer dam to absorb some of these things in somewhere in Adamawa State, in Bauchi, in Kano.
Because the water that comes in there from the Cross River, because the entry point into the tributary has not been opened, the water that comes into the dam is much, it flows, but it is not flowing at such a speed that could turn a turbine. That is the dam in Ibiono. So this is the kind of thing that we need to do a lot of intellectual work in water resources, water resource management. This flood we are having, it is man-made. Man-made because we have not used that water which ought to be channeled in this. We have desilted the channels or opened the tributaries to allow the water to enter. We will not have had this.
Containers, the one we call pure water, we will throw it everywhere, which doesn't decay. 2, we don't make provision for nature when we are building houses or developing estates. You have a plot of land, maybe 50 by 100 or 100 by 100. You want to build. You appropriate the whole place. After you are building, that has taken about maybe 60% of the space or 80% of the space. You now do interlock. You tie everywhere in your compound. The roof is already there. The whatever you call it, the aluminum sheet. Rain is dropping. As it falls on the ground, it can't enter inside the ground because there's a pavement everywhere. And then this generates runoff.
Some Nigerians also suggested that while the subnationals should embark on massive desiltation of lakes and rivers in their states, the dredging of the two major rivers by the federal government will go a long way in mitigating the effect of flooding in Nigeria.
We also have heard about dredging, River Niger and all that. And you have made a point about deposits that are there. Look, when the dry season comes and the water recedes, if you are driving past the Onitsha Bridge, the Niger Bridge, you would see that you have heaps of sand in the middle of what is supposed to be a river Niger. So dredging means that these deposits are supposed to be cleared.
They explain that people with illegal structures on waterways and those who approve such building plans alongside those in the habit of indiscriminate dumping of refuse should face the wrath of the law. In Abuja, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.